In this tutorial, we will cover importing your student database into the DataLink program. The DataLink program will allow you to bring in your student database, including the student's first name, last name, and student ID number. This will enable you to link all tests scored using your Apperson scanners, including the Grademaster 600, Advantage, and Benchmark scanners, to a specific student by their name and ID number. There are two ways to add a student into the database. One is to perform a bulk upload, and the other is a single student addition. When adding a large group of students to your database at once, a bulk upload will be the quickest way. Most gradebook programs will allow you to export your student information into an Excel worksheet, which you will want to do. When you export that information, your report will look something like this. Your program might have extracted information in addition to what is shown here. You will want to remove that extra information from your report so that you only have the student's first name, last name, and student ID number. Doing this will cut down on potential problems or errors when uploading the file. Right now your student information is in an Excel workbook. We're going to need to change the file type to CSV, comma-separated value format to be imported into DataLink. To change the file type from Excel to CSV, go to File, Save As, and a pop-up box will appear. At the bottom of the screen, you will see where it says Save As Type. This drop-down menu will allow you to select how you'd like to save your file. Scroll down to CSV, comma delimited, and click on that option. If you want to change the file name, you can do so at this time and click Save. This file can now be added into the DataLink database. Open your DataLink program and open the student database. The icon that looks like a small student ID card will open the database. Being that this is the first time that we are using our student database, we won't currently have any students listed. To upload the CSV file we just created, click on the Import Student wizard. Once you click on the Import wizard, a pop-up box will appear. The wizard will take you step by step through what you need to do to import the CSV file you just created. Click on the Next button. In this screen, you can browse to locate the file you want to upload by clicking on the ellipsis button. Another window will open, allowing you to navigate to where your file is located that you wish to import. Select on the file and click the Open button. Your file name will show in the box. Click on the Next button. A preview of the file contents will show in this window. Verify that the information listed is correct. If for some reason this is not the file you had wanted to open and import, you may go back and select the correct file. If this file and information is correct, select the Next button. In this section, you will be able to map your file. What mapping your file does is syncs the information from the CSV file you created into the DataLink format. To map your file, simply use the drop-down menus to select what each column is titled in your report with how DataLink has named those fields. Once you have completed mapping your file, click on the Next button. You are now on the screen where you need to double-check that your information is showing in the correct fields. It's very important to see that the correct information is going into each column. Once you have verified it is correct, click Next. This final screen will ask you how you want to handle the import of a student ID number from your CSV file if it already exists in the database. This will default to Leave the existing entry unchanged. What that means is if the ID number in the CSV file you are importing matches an entry already listed in the DataLink student database, it will not update that entry. It will keep the existing entry as is and drop the additional information from the import. If you select to update the student name with the entry in the CSV file, the existing content will be overwritten by the file that is imported. The only reason you'd want to overwrite current information is if there's been a change to student ID numbers at the district level. If the ID number has not changed, then you should keep with the default settings and not overwrite existing information. Once you click Finish, your CSV file will be imported into the DataLink student database. There is no limit to the number of students that can be imported into the database. A single classroom can be imported by a teacher, an entire school or district can be added all at once. We would recommend adding all students at the school at one time. This way, no matter which teacher is using the scanner and the DataLink program, their student IDs will be listed in the database. Once the student database has been imported, it will be available for immediate use. You do not need to click Save. Once the files have been added to the database, if you close the student database and go back in, the contents will still be there. Your grand total of complete number of students in the database will show at the bottom left of your screen. If you only need to add a single student or just a couple at a time to your database, you can do so by clicking on the orange plus sign at the top of the page. This will put your cursor in the blank box at the bottom of the page. You can then type the information into the first column and then tab to the next column until they are all filled in. If you only need to add a few students at a time, this is a great way to enter their information. For adding larger groups of students, it's best to use the import wizard as it is less time consuming. You also have the ability to remove students from the database if needed. To do this, click on the red X. Before the student is removed, a pop-up window will appear confirming that you do in fact want to delete that student. If you select yes, the student will be removed. Your student database is now ready for you to use. When you run your tests for your class, assuming that the student has filled in their information correctly on their ID field, the student name and ID number will show up associated with their test information when scored. You have now successfully created your student database. To learn how to export and share your student database with other DataLink users, view our online tutorial on exporting and importing the student database. If you need additional information on uploading your student database, please contact a member of our technical support team at 800-827-9219.